Hey friends, welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil. Thanks for joining me today. Got some news out of Montreal for, I guess, two reasons. We'll talk about two things in this video. Number one, Suzuki being named the captain, which is causing a lot of controversy on Twitter specifically. I'm seeing all kinds of comments on Twitter. And secondly, also more controversy, the new ad that we're going to see on the Montreal Canadiens jersey. We've got photos of it. Let's discuss both. What should we talk about first? Well, we usually talk about jerseys the most on this channel, so let's start out with that. I'll throw up a photo on the screen here, and you can see the essentially announcement photo of the captain and two assistants for the Canadiens, and we see a little treat lingering in there, if you want to call it a treat. Some people from RBC might call it a treat. Anyone outside RBC does not call it a treat, and I'm in that camp. I do not work for RBC, and I am very disappointed to see that ad on there. Some teams I've been reading are actually declining sponsorship ads on jerseys. Like, I think Edmonton was one of the teams that declined. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I just kind of read that at a second glance at something. So I was kind of like, fingers crossed, maybe the Montreal Canadiens won't, become victim to one of the ads, but unfortunately, it has happened. It has happened. Okay, so the RBC is going to be the sponsor for the Montreal Canadiens, and looking at this photo, I'm annoyed for two reasons. So reason number one is the size. So it's more square than it is horizontal. So some of the ones that we've seen, I don't know if it was Washington or one of the other teams, had a very horizontal ad. It was way wider than it was taller. And I thought that was okay. I didn't obviously I don't want to see ad on a jersey, but as far as size and placement and stuff, it looked okay, honestly. But this one, it's so square and vertical that it's quite distracting, actually. In fact, it's as tall or almost as tall as the letter. So on the A on the right, looking at the right jersey here, it looks like the A is bigger, but the jersey is tilted so the A is closer to the camera. So there might be some perspective things here. On Suzuki's jersey in the middle here, the ad actually looks taller than the C on the jersey, and on the left, which is Gallagher's jersey, they look maybe about the same size. Maybe the RBC one looks a little bit smaller. It's really hard to tell. Either way, they're essentially the same size as the C and the A, and I don't like that. I mean, obviously, there's only 3 jerseys on the team that are going to have letters on them, but still, do they need to be that big? I don't know. And this could be a whole other video about boycotting ads and stuff, and if your favorite team is the Philadelphia Flyers and you see a Subway ad on the jersey and you don't like ads in general, you hate them, you despise them, are you going to boycott Subway because of this? I think I'm going to save that conversation for another video because it's an interesting one that could lead to some interesting comments down below. So don't comment that yet. That video is coming soon. But I don't know, it's too big for me. The other part that really annoys me is the shade of blue. Now, I work in marketing, and I understand brand standards, and most very serious companies and global big companies have very strict brand standards. They're called. So the logo can't be more than a certain size on a certain thing, or if it's if it's a social media post and you put in branding on it like RBC, the logo has to be in a certain area of the photo, and it has to be a certain size. It can't be bigger than 30%. It can't be smaller than 21%. There's all these little kind of intricacies with the rules and stuff behind brand standards. And in this situation, I inherently want, oh man, there's two shades of blue there. Why don't you just make the RBC color blue that's in the backing, the primary color of that ad, be the same blue as in the jersey, which it would fit so much better. Well, you can't do that. RBC is going to say, no, we can't do that, and it's against their actual brand policy. And so it's annoying from every aspect, and it messes with my OCD a little bit. Man, I mean, it's not like the two shades of blue look bad together. They look good together. It's just so out of place, in my opinion. And there's no other yellow on the jersey. So I'm very traditional, very old school. I don't want ads on jerseys. I think that the NHL is essentially the last professional sports league that has held up to the tradition of no ads on jerseys. So I'm disappointed that they're not only coming, but they're not really even matching what's going on. If you put that on the back of the jersey on the bottom, add 3 of them. I don't care, but don't put it on the front that close to the, that historic crest. Just keep it off the front. Do you honestly believe that there's a large group of people that is going to look at this jersey and be like, oh my God, RBC's RBC is sponsoring the Montreal Canadiens. I'm leaving Scotiabank. I'm going directly to RBC because they did this. No, you're going to get the opposite, which segues into the conversation that we're going to have in that new video. Am I going to boycott RBC and these other companies destroying something so sacred and just like historic? How can you do this to these jerseys? How dare you, companies? You will not get my business. There's going to be those people. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. And I think at that point, when we do have that, maybe in the next couple of weeks, depending on how many photos I can wrangle up of different ads, it probably depends on the team ad combination. Like some of the combinations, the colors match, so it doesn't look that bad on the jersey. So I'm sure that maybe those teams' fans don't care as much as other teams. So I want to kind of collect some different teams, NHL teams, anyone who's released their ads and photos. We can kind of look at them all collectively and decide what companies should we boycott and what companies shouldn't we. But anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on the ad on the jersey. I don't like it. I think it tarnishes the jersey. I think it devalues the jersey, and it doesn't make me want to be an RBC customer. It makes me want to do the opposite and not be an RBC customer. So that's my thoughts on the ad on the Montreal Canadiens jersey. Let's move on to Suzuki. I'll just leave this photo up because he's in it and he's got the C on. So he was announced as captain of the Montreal Canadiens, which is a pretty big, that's a pretty big deal as a Canadiens player, as a Canadiens fan, to hear that hey, wow, we've got a new captain. Is he going to turn the team around? Is he going to, lead us to a final victory of a Stanley Cup after so long? I don't know. But I'm not as angry as so many people online, and I'm not as happy as so many people online. There's so many strong opinions. I just don't get it. Here's what I find funny in the whole situation. We didn't even draft Suzuki. We traded him in the whole Pacioretty deal. So you're thinking, young kid, superstar in the NHL, upcoming. We drafted him. He's going to be our long-term solution to the team. We've kind of grown him from the ground up. No, you didn't. You traded for him. Anyone that you did grow from the ground up, not anyone. We'll say 50% of the maybe star status players that you've kind of grown from the bottom up in the draft aren't even with the team anymore. So that's what I find interesting, the whole thing. So the people let's start off with the people who are angry. The people who are angry because it's not Gallagher as the captain, and Suzuki maybe hasn't necessarily proved himself, and he's too young. Those are the three main things I can kind of see online from the comments. Those are the three main talking points or frustration points with fans. Canadiens fans and not Canadiens fans, just people giving their general opinions. So on the Gallagher thing, I think if Gallagher wanted to be captain, he would have been captain already. I don't think that Suzuki outperformed him personality-wise. On the ice-wise, I mean, he did statistically, but I don't think, if Gallagher really wanted it, he would take it. He's already kind of a natural leader in the sense that he has so much personality and he's so good at kind of getting guys going and stuff that it's almost to a fault. He's almost too much in people's faces and his personality is a little bit too strong. So I don't think you need to, give him status of being a leader. He kind of already is a leader. And he does a lot of leading by example, not afraid to go into the boards, not afraid to, rough up a guy that's twice his size. Does he do stupid stuff and, get into the goalies' faces and stuff? Absolutely. That stuff makes me angry. But he's absolutely a leader by example. I don't think he needs a letter on the chest. And like I said, I think if he wanted to be captain, he would be captain already, and this picture would be a little bit different. I think Gallagher is fine with being an assistant captain. Suzuki is one of the brightest young players to play for the Canadiens in a very long time. But because he's so young, people also have an issue with that. They think, okay, well, if you're going to be a captain, you need to be able to have a little bit of experience. You need to show that you can lead. You need to kind of walk the dance a little bit and get that experience before you can teach others how to walk that dance. And that is a very traditional opinion. And I think that in this new age of hockey, where you see Connor McDavid getting the captaincy pretty quickly, and other players around the league as well, that's really, really a traditional opinion. And I don't think that necessarily holds true. I have no issue with Suzuki getting the captain based on his age. I have no issue with that whatsoever. And I have no real opinion on this in general, I guess, is kind of the segue into me leading into this. I don't really care either way, because there aren't for me as a Canadiens fan, there isn't anyone on the team I'm like, this has to be the next captain. It's very obvious. I don't find this a controversial opinion. And I also don't care from the sense that it can't really get any worse for the Montreal Canadiens. They had some pretty had a pretty crap year last year. And why not give him the captaincy? If he can do something with it, that's awesome. If he can't, maybe you make a decision in the future. It's not like they're going to be any worse because he's the captain, or they're going to do worse because he's the captain. I just don't think that's a plausible thought. So I don't care either way that he's the captain. I think, give him the opportunity and let him go with it. I'd rather assume the best in someone versus assume the worst in someone. And I will choose to assume the best in Suzuki until it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, maybe it'll work out awesome. Either way, I'm hoping the best for Suzuki. I'm obviously hoping the best for my Montreal Canadiens. And we'll kind of leave it at that. I think the people who are really upset about this should maybe go for a walk and consider life. Consider that, how important is this in my life where I'm getting this upset and absolutely going on tangents and rants on Twitter and in videos and stuff about this. I just don't, I'm not emotionally invested enough in this announcement to have that reaction either way. So anyway, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Do you think that Suzuki should have been named captain? Do you not think he should have been named captain? Do you think Gallagher should have been captain? I would love to hear your comments. Also down below, what do you think of the Montreal Canadiens RBC ad on the front of the jersey? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Please hit the subscribe button if you want to catch me talk about potentially boycotting companies for these companies putting ads on jerseys. Maybe that video coming next week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Would love to have you on board so you see that. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button. Hope you guys are doing good. Either later today, but probably tomorrow, you're going to see a mail time. I've got some other stuff planned for this week, some fun stuff. So yeah, hope to have you on board. If you're not subscribed, would love to if you could hit the subscribe button. Hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.